Welcome to Structure for Architecture. In this video, I will discuss about the design of one-way slab according to IS 456. Hope you have seen my video on the difference between the one-way slab and the two-way slab, the basic definition and the difference between them. So now in this video, I will discuss only the design aspect. So for theory purpose, you see the video of one-way and two-way slab. So first of all, this is the table given in IS 456. The table table is between the table shows the data between steel stress in service, that is FS, grade of steel, and the percentage of steel, that is PT. So from this table, see in the problem there will be given that which steel you have to use, suppose Fe 250, Fe 415 or Fe 550. So the grade of steel to be used will be given in the question. So according to that, you have to decide the steel stress in service, that is Fs value. That is the left hand side column, and the right hand side column gives that the percentage of the steel to be provided for that certain grade. Now here you see the let us take the example of Fe 415. Suppose Fe 415 steel you are using. So in that case, the service stress will be 240 and the percentage of steel will be between 0.25% to 0.45%. But in the code it is also mentioned that generally we take near the higher value. That means between 0.25% to 0.45%. While designing, we will take, let us say, the value 0.43, 0.45, like this way. So this is the first table we have to start with, and then after we assume the value of PT, that is the percentage of steel, we find the magnification factor, that is MF. MF is given by this empirical formula 1 by 0.225 plus 0.0032 Fs plus 0.625 log PT to the base 10. Please remember that this is log 10. There are two key in the calculator. One is log 10, one is ln, LON, ln. So that ln means to the base E. So you have to take care while calculating this value. Step number 2 is the slab thickness. Here you have to take care that the slab thickness D is given by the three formulae. That is for one is for the simply supported beam, one is for the cantilever beam, and one is for the continuous beam. So please read in the question very carefully that how the slab is supported. So for a simply supported one, it is the span divided by 20 into MF. MF you have found out from the last step. For cantilever, it is the slab thickness is span divided by 7 into MF. And for continuous beam, it is span divided by 26 into MF. So this value you have to remember and take care of. Next is the overall thickness. Overall thickness is capital D, that is equal to small d plus center clear cover plus bar diameter divided by 2. So clear cover generally you give minimum 20 mm. Bar diameter you use minimum of 8 millimeter diameter bar you use for Fe 250. If you are using mild steel, then minimum diameter bar is 10 to 12 millimeter, like this. So after you calculate capital D overall thickness, then recalculate the slab thickness. D dash is equal to D minus CC clear cover. CC means clear cover minus half into bar diameter. So this is the step number 2. Now step number 3 is the effective span. How we will find out? See, the clear span will be given. So effective span can be found out by the smaller of the following two value. What are those two value? Number 1, it is the clear span plus effective depth. The other one is clear span plus thickness of the wall support. Generally the wall support is given between 230 to 300 millimeter. This is step number 3. Now step number 4, this is very important. This is the load calculation. So here we assume that 1 meter wide strip we assume. So self weight of the slab is 1 into 1 into capital D, that is the overall thickness. See, self weight of the slab. Self weight, how you can find out? Self weight can be found out, that is the volume. Volume, how we will find out? as we are taking 1 meter strip, so 1 meter by 1 meter, that is area, multiplied by the overall depth, that is capital D, multiplied by the unit weight of concrete. Now unit weight of concrete is 24 or 25 kilonewton per meter cube. This is standard value, you should know it. Then the next is the weight of the floor finish. Again it will be 1 into 1 into the floor finish value will be given. What is the floor finish intensity? Then the next one is the live load. Live load intensity is 1 into 1 again into live load intensity. So out of these three value 1, 2, 3, self weight, floor finish as well as the live load, we will get the total load W. So after that we can find the factored bending moment M max as we are using the limit state method. So factored bending moment will be 1.5 W L square by 8. Now W is the total load we have found out. LE square means what? Effective span square by 8 into kilonewton meter. Now equate it with the MU lim value found out in the next step and find the value of the D. That is the effective depth. Now here I want to tell you one thing, that here we have taken 1.5 W L square by 8. This formula, the assumption behind using this formula is that here it is a simply supported slab and we are assuming the load is the UDL. So maximum bending value, bending moment value for a simply supported beam for UDL is W L square by 8. Suppose this is a cantilever slab. So for the cantilever slab, this value would be W L square by 2, maximum bending moment value. So this part you have to take care. And the next another important thing is 1.5. This is the factor of safety we are using for the limit state of method. So this 1.5 is going to be same, it is unchanged. Only the W L square by 8, it is for a simply supported slab, and for a cantilever it will be W L square by 2. So this part you have to remember. Now the step number 5, this is again given by the IS code. MU lim is equal to Q FCK BD square. Here you B we take 1 meter, that is 1000 millimeter. Now what is Q? Q value is 0.138 for Fe 415, 0.139 for Fe 550, 0.149 for Fe 250. Now according to that you use the value of MU lim and you equate it with the factored bending moment found out in the last step and find the effective depth. So whatever the effective depth you are now finding, so it should be less than the whatever you have provided. So if it is less than the whatever we have provided, that means the design is going to be okay. Now next step is the area of the main steel reinforcement. So this formula you have to take care that AST is equal to 0.5 FCK by Fy within third bracket 1 minus under root of 1 minus 4.6 M max by FCK BD square. Then bracket close and then BD. So from here we can find out the area of steel. Then the spacing can be found out. This is the simple formula or the same formula is used everywhere in the concrete RCC design. 1000 into Fi by AST. What is Fi? Fi is the area of the each bar. So the bar diameter you are taking suppose 8 millimeter or 10 millimeter. So pi by 4 into that diameter square will give you area of each bar, and AST is the total area requirement. So from there you can find spacing, but here you remember that the spacing should be generally between 100 to 200 millimeter. And there is one trick I just want to tell you, that sometimes my students ask, ma'am, how to decide about the bar diameter, how you are telling that okay take 12 millimeter, okay take 16 millimeter, okay 18 millimeter. So how you decide? So the thumb rule is like that way, that is the A phi should be greater than equal to AST by 10. This is the thumb rule. So you know, see, AST you have got it from the step number 6, correct? So that value divided by 10, whatever it is. So while you are taking the area, so area of one bar must be greater than equal to this. So from here you can get some idea that what will be the bar diameter you will take. Now maximum spacing is also specified as 3D or 300 millimeter, whichever is less, and minimum spacing is 75 millimeter, that is generally it is 100 to 150 millimeter. Now step number 8 is find the AST provided, because after you find out the spacing in the last step, see, we get in some decimal format, correct? After that we approximate. Suppose we get 319 point something, so we approximate it as 300 or 320, like that way, correct na? So AST provided, you have to find it out by the actually what you are providing. So 1000 into Fi by S, and then from here you find the PT prof and check this value with the table 1. Initially we have assumed some percentage of steel value na, so you have to compare it with the initial one. This is step number 8. Step number 9 is area of the distribution steel bar. So for Fe415 it is 0.12 and for Fe250 it is 0.15 BD by 100. And for the distribution steel bar, minimum diameter bar is 8 millimeter, and for Fe250 and for Fe415 it is 6 millimeter. Again I specify this is the minimum diameter you are taking, so you should take greater than this. And the last step is spacing for the distribution steel bar, that is, it is the same way, Fi divided by AST into 1000, and remember that the maximum value is 5D or 450, whichever is less. So before starting of the numerical, I request all of you that again please note down the step, and then you start the problem with me, and please calculate each and every step over there. So let us start the problem now. So design a one-way slab of span 3 meter, which is simply supported on a masonry wall of 230 millimeter wide. Live load acting is 2.5 kilonewton per meter square. Floor finish 1.9 kilonewton per meter square, and use M15 concrete and Fe415 steel. So as you have noted down the steps, so let us assume PT value is 0.45% because the steel grade is Fe415 given, and Fs value is 240 from the table given. So MF we can find out by this empirical formula. So please see the calculation very carefully and do the calculation carefully, because in the step, if you can see in the second step, log of 0.45 to the base 10, that value is coming as to be minus 0.216. Please do the calculation so that you can get the feeling that how the calculation is coming. So here it will be minus, okay, so log 0.45 to the base 10. So MF value finally we are finding out 1.287. Now as it is a simply supported slab, so the slab thickness will be span divided by 20 into MF, which gives us to be 116.55 mm. So we are approximating at 117 millimeter. Now here you have to assume a bar diameter. Let us assume 12 millimeter diameter bar, just random any value you assume that we are giving 12 millimeter. You can assume 14, 16 also, no harm in it. So assume any diameter bar provided. So overall thickness will be capital D is equal to small d plus clear cover plus half of the diameter. That will be the overall thickness. So capital D will be equal to 117, that is the small d effective depth, plus 20 is the what, clear cover, plus half of the 12. So that gives us to be 143 millimeter. So let us assume the overall thickness as 150 millimeter. Now again recalculate, as I have mentioned you in the step, recalculate the effective depth now. So finally effective depth is capital D minus clear cover minus half of bar diameter. That gives us to be 124 millimeter. So I have written with a red color just to, and you also use two color pen, one is blue, one is black. So write down the value in the other color, because while you are drawing the diagram at the end of the design problem, it will be easier for you to find out the value. So capital D 150 and small d is 124 millimeter. This is step number 2 done. Now step number 3 is the effective span. As it is mentioned, it is the smaller value of L plus D dash, that is 3000 plus 124 3124, and L plus thickness of the wall support, that is 3230. So out of these two, whichever is the smaller, that will be the effective span. So effective span is equal to 3124 millimeter. Now the next step is the total load calculation. Total load calculation, the first one is the self weight of the slab, that is 1 into 1 into 0.150. What is 0.150? 150 millimeter is the total overall depth. 150 millimeter means 0.15 meter into 25. What is 25? 25 is the unit weight of concrete. That gives us to be 3.750. Now weight of the floor finish, 1 into 1 into 1.9. It is given in the question. That is floor finish is 1.9 kilonewton per meter square. So that is 1.9. And live load again is 1 into 1 into 2.5. That gives us to be 2.5. Now total load comes out to be 8.15. You add these 3.75 plus 1.9 plus 2.5 gives us to be 8.15 kilonewton per meter run. Okay. Now we have to find the factored bending moment, as it is a simply supported slab. So factored bending moment will be 1.5 into WL square by 8. W is 8.15. What is L? That is the effective length, that is 3.128. So this gives us to be 14.9 kilonewton meter per meter run. Please take care of the unit. Here the factored bending moment coming in kilonewton meter. Now step number 5 is MU limb. MU limb will be 0.138 FCK BD square. Why? Because here we are using Fe415. So see the formula once again. So 0.138 into 15 into 1000 into D square. So that comes out to be 2070 D square. Now equating it with the maximum bending moment developed. Maximum bending moment developed was 14.9 kilonewton meter. So that you have to convert it into Newton millimeter. So kilonewton to Newton 10 cube, meter to millimeter another 10 cube. So that comes out to be 10 to the power 6. So 14.9 into 10 to the power 6. That will be equal to 2070 D square. So from here we can find out D is equal to 84.79 millimeter. So this is much less than the D provided. Effective depth we have provided is 124 millimeter. That is step number 2. How much we have provided? 124 millimeter. Here how much it is coming? 84.79. So whatever we have provided, that is good. So hence okay. Next we will come to the step number 6, that is the main reinforcement. So the formula I have told you. So put the value of FCK as 15, Fy as 415, M max is 14.9 into 10 raised to 6, and FCK 15 and B is 1000, D is 124. So this calculation is very tricky, so please do it with care, and then we will get the value of the AST as 361.584 millimeter square. Now step number 7 is the spacing. Spacing we can find it out, S equal to 1000 Fi by AST. Here we are assuming a bar diameter of 12 millimeters, so it is Fi is 113. So spacing is coming out to be 312.67. So provide the 12 millimeter diameter bar at the rate of 300 cc. And next is the we have to check the PT provided, correct? So AST provided is equal to 1000 Fi by S. So from here we are getting AST provided 376.8. So PT provided is equal to AST provided by BD into 100. So from here we are getting as 0.30%. How much we have assumed in the first step? 0.45%. So hence this is also okay. That is the percentage of steel provided as assumed is okay. Next step is the area of the distribution steel bar. So here you take 8 millimeter diameter bar. So Fi is equal to pi by 4 into 8 square, that is 50 millimeter square. So AST D is equal to 0.12 by 100 into BD, as Fe 415 is used. So this comes out to be 148.8 millimeter square. So spacing is coming as to be 337.63, and maximum spacing is 5D or 450 millimeter, whatever is less, but well, it is coming well within the range. So final decision is provide the distribution steel bar of 8 millimeter diameter at the rate of 300 cc. Finally, this is the diagram of the one-way slab. See, I have shown you the clear span 3000 to 30 millimeter wall thickness is given, and total depth is 150 millimeter, and 150 millimeter, and the main diameter is 12 millimeter diameter at the rate 300 cc, and distribution is 8 millimeter diameter at the rate of 300 cc. So this completes the solution for the one-way slab. Please see my other videos on semester 6 theory of structure, concrete structure, and also please see the video for the gate. Please put your comment in the comment box if you have liked it, and please share the video and subscribe my channel for further updates. Thanks for watching.